Hi. One of the books I chose to read this semester is Mindset by Carol S. Dweck, and I originally chose to read this book because a lot of kids in my class talked about it a lot, and I was curious to see what all the hype was about. I also wanted to learn how to better myself as a person and how to know and knowing more about how the human brain functions, especially in relation to creating memories and gaining knowledge, because that pertains to me since I'm still in school and I'll be going off to university. The basic premise and theme of the book is the idea of fixed and growth mindsets. A person with a fixed mindset is stagnant in their ways and tends to blame misfortunes on dispositional factors of themselves, and it kind of negates the hope for significant future improvement in their lives. Growth mindset, on the other hand, is best summarized as a strong knowledge of situational factors that are going on and the infinite capabilities for improving that humans hold. And Dweck talks about this in relation to parenting, business, education, sports, and bettering oneself. She sprinkles countless examples and studies throughout the book to support these claims and really has you believing in the human capability by the end of the book. Dweck backs up these claims by talking about how habits are formed and kind of solidified through practice. These can be both bad and good habits, and on the fixed mindset side, constantly telling yourself that you just aren't good at something and giving up continues to strengthen those behaviors and not promote the growth or exploration for more knowledge. And growth mindset, on the other hand, comes with knowing that with practice comes knowledge. So Dweck references many studies in her book, but one that I found really interesting was a case study where students in this school are shown these videos describing how knowledge is gained, and that simply practicing hard problems or skills will create physical connections between the neurons in their brains and increase their knowledge. And in simpler terms, the more you practice something, the better you get at it. But this is really enforced by the visual of the physical connections being created in your brain, and it helps the children kind of put a physical aspect to their learning and really quantify how things are adding up. And this really helped them rise from the bottom of the educational ladder to almost the top. And throughout the book, Dweck really pushes the theme that people are limitless, especially in relation to children. And this not only provides encouragement to the reader or an individual who is reading the book, but it could help increase overall educational attainment if used on a larger scale. Right now, the American school system is very focused on memorization of facts, but growth mindset encourages well-rounded knowledge and a real understanding of the topics at hand, which Dweck argues is what leads to improvements in specific fields overall. And all of the anecdotal evidence of growth mindset being used in classrooms was positive, and applying this on a large scale would help children tremendously. In addition, encouraging parents to compliment their children's efforts rather than outcomes helps reinforce the positive habits even further, since it would be coming from both school and home, which is where they spend the majority of their time. Another set of examples Dweck provides in relation to growth mindset is with leaders, specifically in business, like CEOs and managers and things like that. This section has a multitude of studies backing it up. One, which I thought was interesting, was with Wood and Bandura, where they tested on graduate business students, many of which had managerial experience in the past. And this study aimed to find the effect on fixed versus growth mindsets on the continuity and of active improvement in the students. When they used a computer simulation to give the students a task of running a furniture company and deciding how to best guide them to success. And this was pretty hard because they were given an expectation to have a lot of production. And there were two experimental groups. One was told that the task measured their basic underlying ability and capabilities, and the other, the growth mindset, was that their managerial skills were to be developed through practice in the program, and this was really to help them become better. The fixed mindset students ended up falling short because they attributed their failures to themselves, or they thought they had no room for improvement because that was just how they were and they couldn't fix it. Whereas the growth mindset students used their failures as opportunities to learn and continue with trial and error to find the best strategies possible to improve the company. So when they did fail because the task was so hard, they got back up, whereas the fixed mindset students just kind of stopped themselves in the tracks. And if applied to CEOs in the business world, this could really help them maximize efficiency within their own companies as well. Overall, I did enjoy this book, but I felt that it was a little bit repetitive, and after a while, the initial splendor and impressiveness of all the studies began to wear off, and it became hard to remember and differentiate between them. And I found myself falling into a lull near the middle of the book, where the statements seemed to repeat themselves and just be kind of very, very repetitive. But by the end, she brings in new points and really tells you how to improve growth mindset within yourself, and I thought it finished very strongly. And I would recommend this book to anyone who wants to learn about maximizing their own potential and how the brain processes knowledge. As a whole, the studies geared more towards showing the improvement and proving her point of growth mindset rather than specific biological factors, but it was still a very interesting read, and I really recommend it. Thank you.